as a woman, it's very hard to work in any of the profession, because not because of the women are not capable of doing these things. It's because of the society. They do not believe in women that they could do so many things.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Purple Page. So today I have a very special friend here and I would love to introduce her first. So she has worked as a journalist for over 5 years, and after which she have done her master's in journalism, and then she worked in the university as a lecturer in the Department of Journalism for over 3 years, and currently she is on study leave and continuing her double masters in media practice in development and social change. So here I present to you my friend Nish from Bangladesh.
Hello viewers.
Thank you so much, Nish, for joining me today.
Thank you for asking me to join with you.
Alright, without dragging further, the first question will be the obvious question, and that is can you define yourself in the 3 keywords?
Yes, I define myself in 3 words. They are passionate, industrious, and honest.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So the next question is we can see lots of reports that over 1 year we can see 100 journalists they die because not of their sickness or not because of accident but because of their job. So even after knowing that, what makes you or what motivates you to study journalism?
Actually, I had not chosen journalism as my study subject, but it is my luck that I got the subject. And then, after studying 1 year, I think that I can do some kind of journalism so that I can learn, I can understand my subject better. That's why I studied journalism.
Okay, the first was luck, and after which it really interests you,
Yes.
like you were intrigued about learning more about journalism.
Yes.
That's amazing. So, what was the reaction of your family when you say like that you wanted to study journalism?
At first, first of all, my father, he is a photojournalist, so and he doesn't want me to do journalism as my study subject because he wants me to do something else, and he knows the risk factor as he is a journalist. That's why he doesn't want me to join in journalism and everything. And my mother, she wants me to be a doctor at first, so she doesn't want me to do journalism. Besides, my parents were separated at that time, so my mother doesn't want me to follow the footsteps of my father.
Okay, so as per my understanding, the first thing was your father knows the risks of being a journalist, so
Yes.
he wants you to avoid all those risks, and
Yes.
he doesn't want you to undergo all the struggles in
Yes.
life. The second thing is, since your mom and dad they are separated, so your mom doesn't want you to follow the step of your father,
Yes.
and then also like she wants more of like feminine job for you rather than taking the risks of being a journalist.
Yes.
Yeah, I think most of parents do that because there are lots of gender stereotyping going on, and then they want women to work more in a teaching area, maybe, or maybe in nursing. Yeah,
This kind of
yeah, the feminine
professions,
job.
yes.
Yeah, so it makes sense. So, as per the roundtable discussion that happened in Bangladesh around the journalism, so there was some discussion going on that there are lots of women journalists that are prominent these days, but then their struggles and issues are always undercover. So, do you think that there are lots of issues and struggles that is going on, especially in the life of women, like harassment or maybe abuse? Sorry, like if you like to share.
Okay, so yes, there are a lot of abuse and harassment stories every day, but most of them are not coming to the media because they're working in the media. So how could their story be in the media? So this is the first thing, and the second thing is the as a woman, it's very hard to work in any of the profession, because not because of the women are not capable of doing these things. It's because of the society. they do not believe in women that they could do so many things. So because they think that women are in the world for giving birth to the child, for doing the cooking and everything, so they don't get it that women are doing their kind of jobs. So, and beside this, as the society thinks us as objects, not the subjects, not a person, that's why the abuse, the sexual harassment, all of those things are going on in the media and every sector of the jobs. So
Yeah, we can't deny that. Sorry, it's okay. So, being talking about the risks, how safe it is for a woman to report at night?
uh, it's safe for a woman to report at night, but it's not safe for the it's not safe for the company the woman works for, because they don't want to take the responsibilities, because they don't want to give the security to the women to work in the field.
Yeah.
And mostly in my country the women are not working at night. I mean the reporters, they are not working at night mostly. Sometimes they work, but they work in the desk.
Oh.
So there is not that kind of
But is it safe for
reporting.
women to work even inside the newsroom or desk?
Yes, that's the question.
Yeah.
That it's not safe for women to do to work outside. It's not safe for women to work
Even
inside.
inside.
Yes, because it might be your boss, it might be your colleague who are abusing you, who are doing who are getting attracted to you or doing sexual harassment. So it's not safe anywhere.
Anywhere, both
Yes.
inside and out.
Yes.
Yeah. So, how difficult it was for you to control your emotions, your anger, your feelings when you have to report about sensitive cases like rape issues or maybe brutally assaulted cases. Like, how
Yes.
difficult? Can you share one of your experience?
It's very hard, I can say, because I have covered a lot of stories of rape and brutally assaulted and everything like this, because I worked with national and international issues. That's why. So I can share you one stories of the girl Nirvaya who was brutally raped and assaulted, and then she was killed actually at a few days after her raping. So after her rape, so it was like I was um I went to the office the very next day of the rape,
The
as
gas,
my
yeah.
yes, as my shift began at 4 p.m. So when I get the news from the online, different kind of different Indian onlines, that she was raped, she was brutally assaulted and everything, and I was like, I felt so terrible about the story. I was like, if because I moved at night every day, so if it happens to me, what would I do? What would my parents do? So that's the thing. Yes, I was totally traumatized, and it was like a horrible thing to me, because I could not be easy with the story, and I was like, I couldn't do anything for 2 hours. Then my bosses and other colleagues, they were like pushing me to do the story, because I have to give the report at the exact time of the news, so I have to do this anyhow.
Which means like doesn't matter like you are a human. You have to keep aside your emotions, your feelings, your anger,
Yes.
everything aside, and just do and focus your work
Of
at your
course.
work. Yeah, that sounds very inhuman, but yeah.
But yes, you have to do this because you are a journalist, and
Yeah.
you have to know how to control your emotion.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like according to the BSNK, that is like in English is Bangladesh Women Journalist Forum.
Yes.
Yeah, according to their survey, like 10 years back, they say that there are 6,000 men journalists and there are only 300 women journalists. But yes, over the years it has changed a lot. The statistic has gone up, like, but then not as much as the men journalists. So why do you think the women doesn't choose journalism as their profession?
There are some kind of issues, both in family, both in work sector, and in a society, of course.
Yeah.
So like as you have told that the number is quite old, like 10 years back.
Yes,
so nowadays the number increases, but it's not that it increases so rapidly.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of differences, like in the pay gap. There is a large pay gap between
Ah.
men and women.
Yeah.
There are a lot of responsibilities for a women journalist, like she has to do her chores in
Household
she has
chores.
to do her chores, she has to do household chores, she has to take care of her parents. Then if she get married, then she has to do her responsibilities towards her husband and the kids. So there are a lot of things. And if you are a journalist, you have to be passionate about journalism. So it's not a 9 to 5 job. This is a passion, so you have to do it like it's not just 8 hours a day, uh, a model work time.
Yeah.
You have to do works for 12 hours, 16 hours, even 24 hours, who knows. So, so when a woman wants to be a journalist, when she comes to the newsroom, then she might be disappointed to see that she has to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then if she is so passionate, but the office is not passionate about her, if they don't give her the safety and security and
Ah,
the
yes.
safe workplace, so it is so bad for her to like poses as a journalist. So that are some of the issues that women. But some women, they like to take challenges, so they are coming to the
And
journalism
they're courage
profession.
enough.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are so courageous.
That makes sense. Yeah. You need to be courage, like, to in order to take up this job.
Yes.
Yes. But that makes sense because in our society we can see that there are multiple workloads that a woman have to handle, and at the meantime they have to look after their profession.
Of
So
course.
journalism is something, it is very difficult for a woman actually, but we can see lots of women doing that, and I'm really moved and like encouraged. So as per your experience so far, um, in order to be considered as a good journalist, what skills do you need to possess?
At first you have to be very passionate about your profession. Then you have to have the skills, a lot of skills, because the journalism platform has been changed a lot. It's going to just one media to multimedia. Every channel has their newspapers, radios, online, and whatnot.
Yeah.
So women, she might have to be passionate, she might have to be courageous, and she might have learned the skills of doing everything from audio mixing to video editing to writing their stories, everything.
That's quite a lot of skills that a
Yes.
woman need to possess. So,
Yes.
do you think that, or do you recommend a gender-based kind of sensitization program? Because you have talked about harassment that takes place outside as well as inside, in the field as well as in the newsroom and everything. So, do you think we need a kind of like program which sensitize the people on the basing on the crime against sexual assault or harassment or cybercrime, and also on the gender equality type of program? So do you think it should, like, there should be some kind of training that needs to
The trainings must be needed, but I think we have in my country, Bangladesh, there are a lot of training facilities and everything for the journalists. But I'm not sure like how much journalists are taking part in this kind of trainings, because the bosses are not going to take part in the trainings, right? And they might be the sexual predators.
Yeah.
Your senior colleagues, they might not getting the trainings. And who knows that if you are getting the trainings but you are doing the sexual harassment things every now and then. So these are not the like solution for stopping sexual harassment, verbal abuse, and any kind of crime to the women. I think the society is mainly responsible, because you have to teach your men, I mean you have to teach your main members of the society to behave like a real man, not some sexual predators or something like that.
I think that makes sense. It is a system that we need to change,
Yes.
actually. So the last question for you is, if anybody wants to visit Bangladesh, then what is the best time of the year, and which places will you recommend to visit?
Yes, I think November and December is the best time to visit, because the other months are so warm,
Very hot.
so very hot. So it's easy to get, because our country is it's quite low in kind of geographical thing. So if sometimes it is flooded, the whole roads and everything. So it is the best time to in winter to visit. So normally not November, it's December to January is the
Okay.
bestest time
The festive
to,
time.
yes, the bestest time
Yeah.
to visit my country. And like the Cox's Bazar, it's the largest sea beach. The Sundarbans, it's the largest mangrove forest. And
In the world.
yes, in the world. And Sylhet, they have a lot of tea gardens. It's so beautiful, the greeneries. And I think every places in Bangladesh is kind of scenic, beautiful places, so you can visit any places you like. So I am recommending some of the places.
Okay, that's amazing.
So Patuakhali, there is a beach named Kuakata. You can see sunrise and sunset from the same place, so that's so amazing. And the people of Bangladesh are so warm-hearted, so they can take any kind of people, like if you don't know them, but you can take them to visit their places, and you can get the hospitality that you have never got. So
So I
that's the
love to
thing.
visit.
Yes,
and-
please.
Yeah. So that's all for today. Thank you so much once again, Nish, for joining me.
Yeah.
And I have learned a lot about being a life of a journalist, and I believe the viewers would love it too. And the most important thing is I have a great respect for a journalist now. So thank you so much once again. So
Yeah.
that's all for today. And if you like my video, then kindly like, subscribe, and share my video. And I'll see you in the next video.
Thank
Bye.
you, Ben.